Welcome to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, brought to you by the College of Southern Nevada Small Business Entrepreneurship Development, powered by MV Grow. Are you ready to eat? Because this is where everybody eats. Welcome to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, powered by MV Grow, housed here at the College of Southern Nevada. We are your hosts, Sean Torrey and Core Don Allen, the Don himself. What's up, good sir? How you
Doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm good. You looking real sharp over there.
Yeah, we done got spiffy on
We got real
today,
spiffy on them today. I like this. You know? I really love it today.
Yes.
Fit check, man. I love that suede, baby. That suede. That suede red velvet. That's nice right there.
Red velvet on the jacket.
I like that.
Then I got the black on black with the zigzag tie.
Okay.
And then these are bred Jordan 4s.
Okay.
Reimagine. What's going on here?
Oh, well, you know, today I kept it with a tailor-made suit made by Mr. Ron Smith. Style Smith says. Shout out to you. This suit is from him. And I got on the Tiffany blue ones, you know what I'm saying? The Tiffany blue ones with the nice little handkerchief to hit the top, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy. We didn't want to kill him.
We didn't want to kill him.
What I'm saying?
We just do what we have to do. And so, and then we see this, our guest over here, he can't fly.
Yeah, our guest can't fly.
He can't fly with the blue. I like the Converse on your feet, baby.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I didn't get the memo. But you know.
But you was prepared.
You didn't get the memo, but you felt the vibe. You felt the energy. Yeah, exactly.
You know, you hold it up. Should I do this one? Should it?
Right.
Yeah. I can't take all the credit for
You can't.
it.
But you can't prepare.
I can't prepare.
You know what that is? That's that we mentality.
It's the we mentality.
That's what it is, baby. Hey, see, I can see how we know how to plug stuff, sir. Come on now.
I see you.
That's what we coming in today's episode. You know what today's episode is? Today's episode is called We Coming, the We Mentality.
Right.
We mentality.
Yes, sir.
All right.
With a special guest who's excited to discuss the importance of knowing the person you are working with, growing with, and building with. So our guest today is none other than Mr. Brandon Ward. Is a dynamic entrepreneur, motivational speaker, certified business and life coach dedicated to empowering individuals and businesses to overcome obstacles and achieve sustainable success. As the founder and owner of the We Mentality, Brandon has committed his life to inspiring and guiding others through innovative coaching, personal development strategies, and collaborative growth initiatives. Oh, man, we ain't done with this brother yet. With a passion for uplifting communities and fostering resilience, Brandon has made a significant strides in the business world. He serves as a business advisor for the Veterans Business Outreach Center, where he helps veteran entrepreneurs, navigate the challenges of building and growing their businesses. Additionally, he is the host of the Commerce First Radio on 88.1 FM. Right there on the historic West Side School. Shout out to the West Side.
Yes, sir.
Where he connects the community with vital business resources and creates platforms for Black businesses to promote themselves. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone in the place to be. The community leader, the community brander, the one who brings the we in the community. You like that bar right there? Yes, baby. Everyone in a place to be. Brandon Ward. Come on now.
Let's go. Thank you.
You can have that introduction. That set the standard.
Yeah, we got it. Hey, that's going on all my platforms.
How you doing, Brandon?
So, you know, I've been watching this DNC conference, so I'm inspired. I'm very inspired. Just the direction we headed in America. And then, you know, getting to see people present and talk and really give their best and their best effort.
Right.
Those things, you know, just I just love it, man. I just want to keep the momentum going. And I want to make sure that I leverage what's going on in the community and what's going on around the world as well. So thank y'all for having me. I appreciate you.
No, man, thank you for tapping in with us, because guess what? In 4 years, I expect to see you on that DNC stage. I'm gonna put it out there right now for you. Now, when you get to the White House, I just want an invitation.
Just an invite.
I said I'll fly myself out.
You already got the blues. You
know what I'm saying?
Look, I was just out in DC just the past couple of days, and it's rocking out there too, man. And
I love DC.
Just being in that environment too, it does something for you, right? It creates a new vision for you, just what's possible. And then, I went to that Black History, the African American History Museum.
It's a lot, huh?
Yeah, this week it was real heavy, but it was, like I said, it was all about inspiration. Everything was on timing, and then the message is about freedom right now. So it was right on time, and with everything I'm going through. Yeah,
I got to go back there because I've been there. I've been to the museum, but that's something you need to take all day to be at. I didn't even hit. There was like 2 floors I didn't hit because the first floor alone has floor levels. Oh yeah, right. Like the African American Museum is technically, they say it's 5 to 6, but it's really like 8 because you start in the basement.
Okay,
it starts all the way from there. Then you work your way up. There's there's an entertainment floor. There's the Black History floor. Like they start from 1619. And we're all the way up.
All the way up.
And then there's a science floor. When I say Oprah Winfrey has her own room. Yeah.
I gotta go. I've never been to DC.
Huh?
She has a theater there.
My apologies.
She got her
own
theater there.
Wow. It was closed when I went, so I didn't get a chance to go in there. But I was like, Oprah got her own thing right here. Okay. Oh, Oprah big baller.
Definitely.
I understand.
It's amazing. And just the history alone, you hear about like the NAACP.
Yeah.
You hear about all of these organizations, and you just see what they're doing now. But if you can really see how instrumental, them creating that program just through a reconstruction, just through certain times, you'll start to see why these programs are so important and why they are stable in our community and all around the world. So this shout out to all of those organizations. I mean, just the history itself is just rich. And if you haven't had an opportunity to go there, I definitely...
It's on the list.
Yeah, I definitely suggest. Recommend people going there. Anybody who hasn't been there, make sure you go and try it out.
So you try it out.
Yeah.
So, but speaking about rich foundations and enriching, let's go ahead and tap into the blueprint of the we mentality.
Okay.
So the blueprint is our first segment of the show where we talk about, when you building a building or when you're building a building, that foundation, that blueprint to how to do this, why this is here. What was that like for the we mentality? Take us back and explain that for us. What's the blueprint of we mentality?
So it was perfect because it came through the time of pretty much like our own reconstruction through the pandemic. The pandemic had just happened. Most businesses were either suffering or pivoting, and then we were just pretty much established. So it was 2019, and while the pandemic happened, in 2020, it was like, how do we become a solution to these problems?
Exactly.
And that was the main thing. It was like I was already in the chamber. I was already listening to what all the problems and what all the experiences that small businesses were experiencing. Not just small businesses, but it was also corporations. Because you had a lot of people leaving work, and then you had a lot of people going back to work. And then even when people were going back to work, you had to listen to leadership. I have an opportunity to listen to leaders, be able to express themselves, the good and the bad. And I get to hear how hard it was when it came to keeping talent, when it came to recruiting, when it came to training, and then
that retention.
Not having the money, not having HR, not having the right resources. So people were just doing the best that they could. And I feel like whenever you go through any hard time, any traumatic time, anything, you have to have a plan. And then you have to have a plan of execution, an action plan. And our thing was just bringing a bunch of different philosophy. So it was a bunch of different education, certifications. I'm a certified DISC practitioner. I'm a certified motivators practitioner. I'm also a certified speaker. And then I've been in leadership all my life. So I was a police officer on the West Side for 4 years. Then I went into corporate. I had 90-something employees, 6 different locations. Matter of fact, this was actually one of my locations here.
Okay.
I had about 96 employees, but that management, that leadership, I just brought all that into the we mentality. And then the main thing with us is we focus on personality and behaviors. So as a DISC practitioner, everything is personality. Like, anywhere you go, you have to adapt, you have to adjust. But in order for you to really adapt and adjust, you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
So that's more about the professional development portion of it. In order for me to really build organization or build a person, I have to assess them. So just utilizing all of these tools that I've always used throughout my career, and just bringing them all into the we mentality, and then providing a system that businesses, that schools, organizations can all take advantage of. And that's pretty much the blueprint behind it. But the main thing is just, we are a solution-based company. So we go in, we do an assessment, and whatever your problems are, we help you fix them.
And the one thing I loved about your assessment is 4 birds: the eagle, the owl, the parrot, and the dove.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, listen, like I remember you had me take that assessment. I really apply it.
That's good.
And I was like, okay, I need to work on this thing more. I need to work on that thing more. So definitely I love your assessment. I love what you do, especially what you do, how you work and build solid relationships and different dynamics in companies. I know you've worked with very few. So, well, I know not very few. I know the other companies you worked for. So I'm happy to see the growth you've done.
Yeah, and it's the leaders. So I'm growing, but at the same time, it's the leaders that I grow with. Like when I go into an organization, I'm building that team up. But first and foremost, I have to assess that leader so they can understand everything that I'm teaching that staff. And you don't realize it, but you start to see these leaders adjust, and you see them growing as professionals.
Exactly.
You see them retaining employees. You see employees appreciating their job more. You see people getting promoted. And I feel like that's all based off of working with that leader, working with that team, and then seeing that constant growth between those businesses. And I can see it, but I don't toot my horn too much. It's no reason.
Well, we gonna toot it for you. Toot. My God.
But I'm very proud, man. Very proud. Very proud. And then you see these leaders that utilize those same strategies when working with their business. So it's very rewarding and fulfilling.
That's beautiful. So thank you so much for providing that great insight on how you got the blueprint out of your foundation. And before we go on to the next segment, what's one word to describe your blueprint, your foundation? What's one word?
System.
System.
Yep, system. So I don't just free range everything. There's a specific system that I use. I meet people exactly where they are. So you can be a student, you can be a middle schooler. And, I tap into what your goals, your vision, what are, your characteristics. But as a professional, it may be not goals. It may be, how do we get through this one situation?
Exactly.
And how do we get through it? And then how do I get through it without having additional casualties, right? But the systematic approach, it makes sure that we have constant growth. So my thing is 10% growth every day, 10% growth every week. By the end of the year, you would have made strides of personal and professional development. So, but it's all based on a system. It's never a time where we don't know what's next. Once I do the assessment, it's so many things that we point out that it's a constant evolution of growth, right? You go from being the best child to being the best student to being the best parent to being the best grandparent, right? Then being the best leader, right? It's a constant journey. Exactly. That's what it is. It's just being able to support people throughout their life journey.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, man. That's definitely something that we're looking to expand more of later on in the show. But we're going to pass on to Cordon for Business on the Fly.
So Business on the Fly, I'm going to ask you a couple either or questions, and you just pick one and then kind of elaborate why you chose that.
All right.
So the first question is one-on-one coaching or large group coaching?
All right. I'm going to say group coaching. And the reason why I say group coaching right now is, don't get me wrong, I love one-on-one, but that was the formula that I had when I first started my business. And I realized that I just don't have the capacity to create the level of impact that I want to create working one-on-one with individuals. Yeah. I would rather work in a group where I can address things in that whole group setting, and not just that. We can create community, and then that person isn't just relying on me; they're relying on that whole entire ecosystem, right? Yeah. It takes time for you to grow. I used to want to be the superstar. I used to want to be the man in front all the time, but now I've just learned that leading the group is also being part of that group.
Exactly.
And then I'm able to leverage the talent in that group as well. Because there's so many talented people in different businesses, and some businesses are going to be successful, some are going to fail. The ones that fail, you just need to make sure you have some type of secondary backup plan for them. And that's something I'm always doing. I'm aware of what the talent is that's out there. I'm exactly what they are trying to accomplish. But I also know when the odds are against them, right? Or you can tell when they just don't have that drive, they're not developing, or they don't have those resources, or it might just take a little bit more time. So you have to have something supplemental for them to be able to fall back upon.
Got it.
Okay. So corporate training or small business training?
Oh, man.
Like big corporate is what I mean. Big corporate or small?
So impact, right? And where can I make the most impact? It'd be small businesses.
Okay.
Corporations, they have goals, and don't get me wrong, it's good money in working corporate.
Right.
But when you are able to help out a small business, it's so much more rewarding. And it's not just that business, it's their personal life, it's their family life, it's their personal, it's their development. It's so much more intimate, right? You have to really get to know these people. In corporations, honestly, I just got to get in there and get the job done, because, you know, I might get 4 hours, 6 hours, and then I may not be able to see them again for another year. With my small businesses, I see them. If I'm not seeing them next week, I'm seeing them the week later. Right? You know, it's constantly seeing the evolution of them and their business growth.
Gotcha.
Next question is actually the last one for this segment: self-motivation or leader-led motivation?
Self-motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only because of, you know, when you go through things personally, you start to realize that that leader is not always going to be there. You have to be able to pick yourself up.
Exactly.
No matter where you are. And I don't care what you're going through. You can be in jail. You could be in a foster home, or you can be at a down time in your life. No matter what, you have to be able to pick yourself up. And you got to know what tools are out there. So for me, it might be music. It might be listening to an Eric Thomas motivational speech. It might be listening to T.D. Jakes' sermon, right? Right. It could be any of those things, but it's whatever's going to talk to my spirit. And I think that self-motivation is also important because it takes a lot of personal and professional development. And then it really takes you having to really strip yourself of everything, of all the distractions, and really get to know who you are, and then really tap into that spirit of that you have on the inside. Thanks, sir.
Man, no, thank you for giving that a good insight on business on the fly. I like that.
That was a reel right there.
That was a reel, by the way. That's why I was like, oh, yeah. Cameraman caught it. Thank you for giving us that reel. So let's get deeper, bro. Let's get deeper into the legend. So this is the next segment. Legend, you remember on the map back in the day, before MapQuest, before Apple Maps, and, well, sorry, you got the Droid.
He know it.
I know. So before Google Maps. We had, you know, on the map, we had that box, that legend. That legend was key for us to understand those detailed symbols so we can get around and navigate them. Right. So what were those detailed icons for you when it came to developing this assessment for the we mentality? I bring it up a lot because I really love it. I love when you did it. You did it for me one-on-one, and then we did a training with the city. And then you also did it for one of the fatherhood events. Right, because you were talking to teachers about, do you understand? You brought it all back to, do you really understand the kids you work with, or what type of personality is? Because you're an eagle trying to talk to a dove and it's not working. Right. So can you explain what your assessment is first, and then also talk about how it's impacted you to work with everyone that you've been able to impact in a positive way?
So I'll start off with like a little story. I like stories. It's like 30 seconds. So my son, he's an ego personality. He's dominant. He's challenging. He's always moving around, right? He's just active, real active. He can be, I guess he can be disrespectful, but it's not really disrespectful. He's just, you know, forthcoming. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right? This is what I'm feeling. I'm telling you exactly what I feel. His teacher, she calls me and she says, hey, Bishop is acting up. Can you talk to him? And I, you know, as I'm talking to her, I say, well, what's the problem? And she didn't want to say, so I just need you to talk to him. I asked him, I say, what's the problem? She said she won't let me lead the class.
Oh, sorry, that's tough.
Right? She won't let me lead the class. She won't let me be in the front of the line. And I'm like, all right, well, you can't always be in the front of the line. But see, I teach treat people the way that they want to be treated, right?
Yes.
Not treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way they want to be treated. So my son, although you don't want him to be in the front of the line, obviously he just wants to lead something.
Right.
So just give him a responsibility, right? Tell him, hey, I want you to make sure everyone stays straight, right? Go all the way to the back, make sure everybody stays straight. Protect everybody. Make sure nobody come from behind us, right? Give him some responsibility. Exactly. Anything. It could have been just anything. And that's how you really lead kids, children, is once you understand that they like to lead, you put them in a position to. He's the same child that you can, you want somebody to be the example, he'll raise his hand first. Like, I'll be the example. Call on him. And then he's inspirational too. So once he leads it, all the other kids will follow.
Exactly.
She didn't get it. She was like, no, you can't always be in the front. You can't always do this. And now we talking for 30 minutes and we're wasting your time. And now you're interrupting me at my job. Now you're wasting my time because you want to argue with him and tell him he can't have his way. And it's really not about giving people their way. It's just adapting to their personality. Right. Treating people. There's a child who wants to be in the back.
Yes.
There's a child that don't want to lead, right? He don't even want to say nothing, right? Give those roles to those people, especially if we just trying to go from one building to the next.
Something that simple.
It's simple, right? Why do we need to make this a big deal? But, some people that, you getting that power. And that's any role. You can be a mentor, you could be a police officer, you could be a judge, you could be a president, and you could be a bully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really a bully. I'm flexing my muscle. I'm in charge. All right, well, how you gonna lead if nobody follows? In this new generation, you gotta follow. Man. Right? These kids, like if you can't get these kids to follow, then you're not gonna get any compliance. And without no compliance, where's the regulation? There's no regulation. Right. So that's what I saw. And I just saw people just behaving, poorly, but people weren't able to adapt. Relationships started having problems, right? People not being able to adapt. You got this huge awareness about mental health. So a lot of people already think that they are bipolar, but you don't realize you have multiple personalities already, right? And then in different environments, your personality, it may come out differently, and we don't know. And sometimes we have conflicted personalities. Like I might be dominant in certain situations because I'm a leader, but at the same time, I can't be dominant in this environment where, say I'm dealing with the older population, right? They need me to be more compassionate. They need me to be more patient. So how do I utilize my dominance and my compassionate? Well, I have to adapt to the environment. It's not about me, right? And that's what I started realizing. And I started learning, once you start teaching people about who they are, they can adapt according to those environments. And then you think about students, how many people go to college, they get degrees in something and they're not even doing that. They're not even in that field, right? I mean, I talk to a lot of business owners. They went to college and why you not doing that no more?
Exactly.
Well, I was doing it for the money, or somebody told me I should do this. Well, when you take a personality assessment, you kind of learn what environments you will thrive in.
Yeah.
And when you learn what environments you're going to thrive in, you put yourself in situations where you can win, right? Where you can be successful. Now, that doesn't mean you should always put yourself in situations that are comfortable. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations in order for you to grow.
Exactly.
Right? So now you have to know, okay, this is a time for personal and professional development. I don't have the expectation that this is going to be comfortable. This is going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to have to fight for this,
exactly.
right? I'm going to have to really try. I'm going to have to really get outside who I am to really accomplish this.
Right.
And I just think that's how you strategically do it. So that was pretty much how we came up with it. And then once we realized that it was personality, personality is everything. Yeah. When you hire personality. You don't hire an introvert in an extrovert position. You walk in the store. When I walk in the store, I want to hear good morning. Hey, how you doing? I don't want... that's just not what I want, right?
Yes.
I mean, the chances is I'm gonna come back to that store where they greet me more than I'm gonna go back to that store where they don't greet me. So it's just personality and then treating people the way they want to be treated. Teachers, you saw a lot of teachers quit their jobs. I saw a lot of teachers struggling during the pandemic, and I see a lot of children not obeying. But the thing is, you can't force people to listen to you. You just can't. You have to get people to adapt to who you are. and your personality if you really want them to be compliant. So it just made sense, right? When it came to business, education, even organizations, leadership, right? Everything is personality.
Okay. Now for one, give a round of applause for my guy. He dropped like 4-5 reels.
Thank y'all.
In this and that response alone. So, and you actually answered a couple of my questions, so I don't even have to ask them, which is good. But I think that the question I have for you is for mainly our students that go to the College of Southern Nevada and our folks in the community. What would be your advice to them in working in these different dynamics, right? Because one of the pieces of good advice that I was given by a colleague was you have to learn how to manage up. And I was like, what you mean by manage up? He was like, you got to learn the person who's essentially over you, your supervisor. And you got to learn what their personality, what they want. Sometimes it's you feeding into their ego, but most of the time it's bare minimum. Mm-hmm. But you got to know the person you're working for and know the people working under you. And it made me think of you.
Okay.
And I say that to say, because I was like, dang, this is Brandon's alley all the way. Because some personalities you just clash with. They're just not. Some folks is just like, no matter what, they're micromanaging. And I'm someone, I don't like being micromanaged. Trust me that I'm going to do my thing because I'm going to get it done every time. Yeah. But there's some people who, they're just micromanagers. So what did you say to people who are like, probably like, even like someone like myself, who your environments where people micromanage, and no matter how successful you've done things, the do drop, that's just who they are, and you have to accept it. What do you say to someone who struggles with personality? Because there's some people who want to be micromanaged because they need that guidance. There's some folks who's like, hey, I got it. What do you say to them? So first and foremost, it always tags back to your why, right? And you hear that's so generic, but why are you there? Right? Why are you part of this organization? Why are you in this class? Why are you at this job? Really, what's your point? Like when you first applied and made that commitment, go back to that feeling. Right? Because none of this other stuff mattered before that. Right? You didn't know this person. You didn't know who the leader was. All you saw was something on a website that said, if you come here, you can accomplish your goals by going through this program, and this is what you need to do. So it could be money, it could be education, it could be skill sets, right? Resources, whatever it means, know what your why is. Once you get there, so I'm a very dominant personality. Not just that, like if I come into a room, I can take up the energy in the room, but I know that when I first go into any environment, I'm there just to learn it. Right. I need to see how can this environment benefit me being there as a person. Right, my skill set, and if I'm there and I see, okay, well, they already got somebody that's dynamic. He a speaker, he inspirational. They don't really need that right now, right? They may be lacking somewhere else. So where can I bring value to this? Once I figure that out, now I start figuring out who the people are, right? Who's in charge, and if it is a leader, if it is that leader, and I know that this is the person that make all the decisions, I need to figure out how can I help them meet their expectations, right? And how can I help them? How can I help them achieve their goals? And then more than anything, what's their expectations of me? Because they're going to tell me exactly what I need to do in order to be successful to help them. Now, once I know what my role is, and if I do my role well, then people should treat me well. Exactly. Now, if I'm not meeting my KPIs, my key performance indicators, if I'm not doing what's expected of me, I should expect for people to have negative feelings about me or see things different. They may need to correct me, right? I'm just taking myself through this whole thinking process because in the end, now say I'm doing everything right, but I'm still having a problem with this person because they're just a poor leader. Now I need to adapt. I need to adapt to this situation because I've already committed to this. I have to be here for the duration of it. So how can we effectively communicate to where I tell you what my boundaries are and you tell me what your expectations are? Transparency.
Because I think people don't think that they can talk to their leader and tell them exactly how they are and what they expect of them. And a lot of times, if I talk to my leader and say, hey, I don't think you understand my personality, and if you can't read it, I'll say, you know what, we should take an assessment so you can understand who I am and how I am, right? And this is why we do the assessment thing. But in this situation, we don't have an assessment. We have to be able to communicate. So you tell people about how you feel. Now, the bad thing about having a leader who isn't emotional, they're not a dove or a parrot, they're an eagle. They don't really have emotions. They don't, and I'm not saying they don't have emotions, but they don't react out of emotions. They don't prioritize your emotions. They prioritize the task. So once I understand that, they have to meet on the same playing field.
Right.
The leader has to be able to listen to that employee or that a student needs to be able to talk to them. And once they have that communication, I tell you what the expectations are of me, and you tell me what the expectations are you. And then this is where we try to make that correction. If we don't correct these things, now we're going to have a problem. Yeah. And now we need to bring in a mediator. And that's why I love having open door policies at businesses, because even though you're the leader, there's somebody that you have to answer to as well. And maybe we need to talk to that person to see if they can create a better situation, because I shouldn't perform poorly just because you don't like me, and you shouldn't treat me poorly because you don't like me. Because a lot of times it's the leader that's making the most problem. Now, say if you just can't be in an environment with this person, then you should just try to remove yourself from that environment.
Mm-hmm. Man, you preaching to the choir. I pray that they heard you, because you drive. I have to deem you the jewel king today.
Yeah.
Lord. You dropped some jewels.
A lot of content
there. So I'm like forever grateful for you. So thank you for coming on to our show.
Oh, thank you.
I know you've been waiting for this invitation for a while. We talked about it before.
Definitely.
So it's been a couple
of seasons.
It has. Well, it's the best one.
You finally made it.
This is the best one.
We saved it for you.
We've gone through some growth here at the podcast.
That's right.
Where Cordon came on to the show last season, and that was the missing piece. Of the show. Was my little bro Cordon. He was the one who balanced this out. I would honestly say the first 2 seasons we were figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
Third season was like, okay, we got
it now.
We got the team. Like, we finally got the videographer. We got Cordon here, and it blossomed to something we did not expect. Like season 3 was like, okay, we see the possibilities. But now season 4, this is the one, because now we got it. We got our routine down. Mm-hmm. Not even just routine. The cozy vibe,
the chemistry,
the chemistry.
Yeah. Like where you feel like his personality complements yours? Where do you feel it?
Well, I'm more of a, I'm an eagle owl guy. You already know I'm an eagle owl. He's definitely more of the owl parrots. I think dove.
Okay.
Because he's more. I had to bring him out of the shell being on the show.
Okay.
But he's so clear and detailed. So even certain things we changed our segments because of him.
All right.
To make it connect to not only his generation, but to where it's also still professional.
That's right.
Right. And it made me have to step my game up of, okay, let's loosen up things. Right. Mm-hmm. But still keep it professional, because you got somebody who's seasoned and who's young in the game. So that dynamic, he helped me be better in that and being more patient to teach. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's what. And pretty much that's what we do at the We Mentality, right? When you have your team, it's a way to building it to where whatever it is that you're working on can work with more cohesively, where it can be smooth and where it's just natural, right? Yeah. And that's what you want. You don't want to force too much. And if you are forcing anything, that team is not where it needs to be.
Yeah,
right. They probably need to be on a different team. And that's why you got a league of teams, right? And that's why it's so good to be able to have competition, because you can have multiple personalities in the same room, the older, the younger, all of those different dynamics. And that's how you touch on it. And that was why I asked, because by him adding that aspects to your show, you can see it, right? You can
listen, what things got Cordon, you tell me. Ever since he came onto the show, it was a different vibe. I got people hitting us up all the time. We were already having attraction, but him coming to the show added a whole nother element.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you build
And
it.
this guy back here, you can't see him, but he back there too.
Yeah, you got to always have a person in the back.
You know what I'm saying?
You always get people. Look, I don't like to be in the front of the camera. I like to be in the background. Right? You got to have
These
that
two coming
background
onto the
person.
show changed the game.
Yeah, got to have a camera. Got to have an outgoing. Got to have that person to keep everything on time. So yeah, man, y'all got it. I love it.
Thank you.
That's
man.
the formula.
That is. You're absolutely right. And that we gonna toast to this, good gentlemen, because we're into our last segment, which is the happy hour. And this is a segment between us as the host and our guests. Share something that's going on great with our lives, man. Okay. One good thing, we know this as back in the day when I mentored this guy, is called Good in the Hood for us. What's good is something we leave on a positive note. So, Cordon, we're going to start with you. What's something going on great for you?
I've been doing this internship. Shout out to Keem and Marquis at New Life. And they've been helping me a lot with my brand, and I've been doing email marketing for them. So at the same time, learning the stuff that I'm going to need for my brand, I'm helping a brand do it. That's already, been in the game and taking it to the next level. So being a part of that is really cool. Yeah.
How about you, sir?
All right. Well, you said not business?
It doesn't matter. It can be business or anything personal. It's up to you.
We'll keep it business. So just happy for growth. Anytime your business can scale, it's amazing. That's what you want to see. We recently did training with the cabinet over at UNLV, and then we did even more leadership training with some more leadership there. So that contract is continuously growing. Hopefully we can, break into the Clark County School District. And then we recently just got a partnership with CSN. So
come on now.
Yeah. So we'll be doing a 6-week workshop series with CSN starting
I heard about
September 24th. So
I heard
I'm
about
to that. And helping out some businesses in the fourth quarter. My thing is helping them really become resilient and really thrive, preparing them for 2025. And then I think once I can get a hold of them for that 2025, I think we can really start to get a lot of success stories.
No, huge shout out to my man Thomas Carvalho. He's the one, because we asked first, hey, who should we hit up to be on the show? We asked our team. He was like, you should get with Brandon Ward. He's this. They were bragging about you.
Shout out to Tom.
Shout out to Tom. For one, I was like, well, Brandon is my guy regardless. And I already had a plan to bring you onto the show. I was gonna do a little further in the middle of the season, but he was like, "No, you should get him for the first couple." I was like, "Bet." I was already thinking of you anyway.
Perfect timing.
So it's perfect timing.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Timing.
So shout out to Tom.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't miss this. You hit me up. I was like, I gotta make it because we got some good things coming up.
Right. Yes,
we might
sir.
as well promote this and send this out for the promotion.
Man, come on now.
So that's some wins, man. That's something to toast to.
Man, that's a blessing.
Yeah,
for me, I got a big collaboration coming. Well, not just me. King of Jewels, my nonprofit, has a big collaboration coming. I can't say yet, but it's with the very popular brand that's out here that folks love out here. And I can't say yet, but it's a big collaboration coming, and our youth get to be very hands on with it.
Oh, congratulations!
So thank you, man. It's business is good, baby.
Right.
So toast to all of us, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good ginger ale, by the way.
Yeah, ginger ale. Good ginger ale.
Good ginger ale.
Good ginger ale. So, that camera, good sir. Oh, this camera, my bad.
Oh, that's right.
This camera. Please tell people where they can find you.
So you can find Brandon Ward on all social media platforms. So for my business, I say business first, go on LinkedIn. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, please follow me on LinkedIn, and then we'll get acquainted there. But just for some social media content, getting to know about my life. Of course, Instagram is there. You can follow me at Brandon Ward Motivates, or you can follow the business at The We Mentality. We're also on Facebook as well at Brandon Ward and at The We Mentality. And then be on the lookout for my up and coming YouTube channel, where we'll be helping out veteran entrepreneurs and getting the word out about these resources that are here in the community. And that'll be on my YouTube. That's Brandon Ward as well. And my website, thewementality.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate
this
that
for sure.
Yeah, hey, if you're a business owner and you're not part of Nevada Grow, I ask that you please join the program. Go on to the CSN website, but you can go on to the Nevada Grow website. There is some stipulations. You do have to be in business for 2 years, and you have to make a certain amount, and in between a certain amount, you should qualify. Even if you don't think you qualify, apply. Somebody might show you some love. But take advantage of all the resources that we have here, whether it be CSN or in our community 89106 or just the city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Nevada is doing big things for business here.
That's true.
So take advantage of these resources while they're here. I don't think they'll be giving us reparations no time soon.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I think that you just got to take advantage of all the resources.
Take advantage of all the resources. Take advantage of all the resources, please. That man is absolutely accurate. Reparations is in the conversation, but it ain't maybe fast enough. So we need you to tap in with these resources because they are here. This is why the show is here. To make sure people know all of their options.
Yes, sir.
So again, my good brother, Brandon Ward, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in the place to be, this is the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIT Podcast, where everybody eats. We are your hosts, Sean Torrey and Cordon Allen the Don, and we will catch you next time. Thank you so much. Stay up, be blessed. Peace out.
Thank you.